Oh, folks, Typhoon Carter here, and I bring to you a Smogon Premier League 17 matchup. This is a Week 5 showdown between Martial Law of the Stark Sharks and SFG of the Indie Scooters. So, Marshall coming off a win against Markop last week for his first game in a long time in SPL. Whereas for SFG, I believe he's coming off a loss, and it's been kind of a mixed bag of a season for him so far. He's 2-2 right now. Marshall is 1-0, and we both players are French, so we're getting inter country or inter province showdown, whatever. Anyways, this should be an interesting matchup. Let's jump right into this. Azelf lead, Needle Queen lead. So Azelf will probably just taunt here, turn one regardless, to prevent Needle Queen from getting toxic spikes up. SFG bring out the Needle Queen lead. There's a couple variations that this Needle Queen could be. This could just be something generic like, Needle Queen, T-Tar, Latias, Rotom, that kind of stuff. Could also be something like Needle Queen, Milo, Glisk, or Magneton. Few variations. Azelf lead, some kind of offense, but we don't know what type. You're going to Jirachi here, and Marshall making a smart play there, getting the Stealth Rocks up, knowing that SFG doesn't want to stay in. Thunder's there, and just got Explode. Okay, Jirachi showing lefties, and Gengar going to Shadow Ball here. Won't quite KO. Does not get the Thunder Para. And Jirachi's just gonna go down. So Marshall off to an early start here. And Bronzong's revealed. Okay, if this is a Needle Queen Jirachi Bronzong, so there's your two steals. Usually what this tells me is that this might actually be a triple steal team, because Bronzong usually, if you bring Needle Queen Jirachi Bronzong, you're gonna invite Skarmory in, even though yes, SFG has Thunder Jirachi. The reason being is that if Skarm gets layers up, then these Needle Queen teams are going to have a hard time playing the long game. But Bronzong being sent out here means that Marshall's best switch against Bronzong based on his team structure is either something like, Metagross, maybe a Shuka-Tran, or even a Rotom. Well, but he showed Gengar here, so Rotom is very unlikely. But so Marshall doesn't want to stick around unless he has like Destiny Bond or something on Gengar, which is a bit of a fringe option, but it's very much an option that exists. Gonna go into Gyarados, which is okay as a Bronzong answer. Gonna come in right on the Stealth Rocks. And Milotic is shown, so this is most certainly Mag in the back. Now, Milo here has a couple options. It could Hidden Power Electric, which I know this is a squad that Bruno or Anti, yeah, I don't even know which one he prefers, but not the point. Would have ran way back when with like Milo, Donphan, that kind of stuff. But it's showing Haze here, so this might be like Surf Recover Toxic Haze. Could also be Surf Ice Beam Haze Recover. And Marshall's just gonna DD up again, trying to force SFG to waste a turn. And what he's doing here, if you can't tell, is that Marshall is just trying to make... Oh, okay, there is the Toxic indeed. He's basically just trying to make SFG be forced to recover. If he gets a critical hit here, then he can snatch a lot of momentum back. Instead, he's going to swap onto Empoleon, knowing that the Milotic showed, what do you call it? Toxic, and oh, huge. That's actually a very, very strong click from Marshall there. Getting the Magneton on the switch. I don't think he was expecting that. But Empoleon coming in on the Hydro Pumping on the Milotic is actually really smart for a couple reasons. Because Milotic's last move is a Surf, so Marshall took a calculated risk, and he can afford to Hydro Pump here, because even if he gets it wrong, like even if the Milotic stays in, it's like the Milotic's only doing what, 10-20%, and Marshall as a result has several opportunities to keep firing those Hydro Pumps. And that pump, getting rid of the Magneton, which is actually huge because of the fact that, one, Bronzong can't really switch in if this is specs. The other thing is that the Empoleon now can just run free, and all Marshall has to do is look for those opportunities to get his breaker into the game. And Bronzong's going to EQ on this Gyarados, but that won't really matter. And he's got DD up again, try to put some pressure on the Milotic. Again, if he lands a crit at any point, and strain to Toxic, so yeah, Marshall playing it safe, knowing that he's ahead in the game. And SFG's gonna stay in this time. And revealed to be... Okay, so this Empoleon looks like it's Henpar Electric, which is actually kind of good on... Which is actually a really cool touch on this, assuming that's what it is. Because... Actually, no, it wouldn't be HP Grass because you have Grass Knot for that option. So what this tells me is that Hydro Pump Henpar, this is probably Ice Beam Grass Knot, so this might just be 4 attacks. Empoleon could also be Agility Empoleon with like, you know, like Shuka or Wacken or something along those lines. But Henpar is actually really nice because it keeps something like Gyarados honest, especially if you pair it with something like Shuka Berry. So 34% here, and a Marshall can safely try to fish for crits here because Needle Queen is probably slower, and the Bronzong can't really take a Hydro Pump that well. And all Marshall can keep doing here is keep crit fishing because he's got to run out eventually. Now the Empoleon's in Torrent range, so you want to be careful here if you're SFG. Recovers here. Henpars again. And the Milo probably just going to Surf again, but if Marshall's playing it like this tells me that he might have a Healing Wish Latias in the back. I gotta sacrifice the Gengar or right into a... Okay, sure. And go Shadow Ball here, that's a Spadef Bronzong. And Gyara's gonna come in. Gyarados is just gonna come in on the Needle Queen. Needle Queen will probably get Toxic Spikes up, which will do nothing. And yeah, I gotta have to switch to Milo. And now Marshall is going for Broke here. Just going crit fishing here. And Milo's probably go recover, and then what's gonna happen is, okay, or not. Sure, and then Gengar can probably Pain Split now. And no, it's just got Explode, okay. Strain to Empoleon. Okay, so Gengar of Explosion. This is actually a cool set or cool moveset choice for a couple reasons. One, Gengar with Explosion means that you can lure something in like Clefable or Blissey, blow it up without relying on Focus Blast. So that's why you might run it. Two, you don't give up momentum, especially against something like a D-Knight or Gyarados, which might survive a hit. And Milo's gonna come in, Strain to Ice Beam. So I think this is Agility Empoleon with free attacks. And just got Henpar Electric again. And finally the Empoleon's gonna go down, so that's a huge threat out of the way. And Lucario is going to come in. And Gliscor is the last here. So it was in fact a Gliss Milo Mag team. And yeah, I mean, these type of teams I've seen before. For Marshall now, if this is Ice Punch, then Lucario is in a fantastic spot here. If it is not, then there's a chance that Marshall actually loses this. And the last, I wonder what the last here is. Like, it could just be something like a DD Tar as a last poke, which would make sense now that I look at it, because Marshall's team just would get completely destroyed by someone like Scarf Rotom. So yeah, I'm almost certain that the last has to be DD Tar here. EQ's here. And the question now is, how are you going to follow up? Gyarados is going to come in. And Milotic is going to swap in right as the Gyarados DD's up. A crit could kill here. But no, the Milo is going to just... Oh, huge crit there. The one time SFG did not want to get crit against the Gyarados. But that said though, it's like I wonder... I mean, I think he should have just, you know, healed up the Milotic again. And then from there, try to bring the Bronzong in and then, you know, say Payback or Gyro Ball. I think that's one option that SFG could have done here. But the crit really stinks here. I'm not sure. This might go on the bingo card, but you could say this was a misplay. You could also say it's not. And yeah, SFG burning a lot of timer here. And yeah, Bronzong's gonna come in. It's gonna get... Okay, it is gonna get toxic. Oh, so this might be Mono Zong. And oh no, it is Gyro. And then okay, so the last is in fact Tyranitar. Okay, this is actually really bad for SFG. If you're SFG, you almost certainly have the Gyro Ball here. And then hope you crit the T-Tar on the way out. Yeah, and that prior turn, talk about having, you know, getting your win snatched away at the last possible window. If he had saved up the Milo, at the very least, like recovered with the Milo and then try to draw out something with the Zong. But there's also the issue. Yeah, this was not a fun spot for SFG to deal with. And yeah, just got crunch here. Okay. Milo's going to... Yeah, it's slower. I think a Gliscor... I think... Wait, what? EQ's here. I mean, wait, what? Why? Just go Gliscor. That was literally your only chance. Wait, why? No, what? Aquatail. Wait, why didn't he... I mean, yeah, Marshall wins, and he's gonna go 2-0 in the season. SFG's gonna go 2-3. But wait, why didn't he just go Gliscor first? Like, what? Like, turn 47, you know, at the very least, what SFG could have tried to do was, you know, try to play for a crit and then, you know, escape the game that way. I'm bewildered right now. What? Why? I don't know. Did he... I mean, yeah, the Milo getting crit sucks, but like I felt like he let the game get away from him a little bit. And then the other thing I would say is that, you know, I mean, letting the Magneton get KO'd by the Empoleon was like kind of bad too, because the Magneton would have actually been very useful for the Lucario. And then what SFG could have done is, you know, I maybe would have considered sacking the Nidoqueen. I think like that was an option too. Like he could just slowly worn it down, sacrifice something, let the Magneton come in, revenge. So SFG really regretting not having the Magneton around, because at the very least, you know, you could try to keep the Gliscor healthy. You could also say sack the Milo to the Lucario, get rid of it with Magneton, and then that way you can try to trade down with the Gliscor against the DD Tar, right? So yeah, this, like, yeah, he got unlucky, but it felt like he just missed some opportunities there. I'm not sure. Pretty weird game, but congrats to Marshall for winning his game this week. And that said though, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.